What's up, y'all? Man, let me tell you like this. They try to put a lot of governors on all of us, meaning the people that you see here, they try to put governors on us to where it's only about who we know, who we're part of, and our situation. Now, let's take, for instance, all of the things that we see in front of us that we don't understand. What does it mean? Why do they keep pushing us into narratives that don't exist and act like black people are the only ones that do things? Sometimes you find out you're banned to things you never knew you were banned to once you show up. So being banned is a whole different thing. Like you wouldn't know you're probably banned from the NBA until you showed up to an NBA game. They're not gonna probably send you an email. They'll let you try to get the ticket in your name, go down there. Sometimes you're not allowed to buy the ticket. Then it becomes something else entirely. Now, when you start seeing people get involved in certain situations, you start seeing, differences in how they approach certain situations, right? There's some people that don't have any restrictions on things, but for instance, Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, right? They were engaged in a major situation where each side was, claiming the other one took advantage of them and did certain things towards them, right? Then you have then you have Ryan Reynolds involved. They got into a fiery argument in the situation. And all of this based on just the way they felt, their opinions about things, right? What was the results of that? Certain events Justin Baldoni is banned from and just won't be invited and won't know because they'll have Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds there. Justin Baldoni, to me, was the victim in this entire plot from a woman who clearly decided to come in and sabotage the entire production and take over control. That's what she wanted from the very beginning. And she used her fame and popularity and her resources to get it done. And what was left was to destroy this man's reputation. Didn't care about what it cost his family and that this was actually a good person. What we saw is one person's desire to not only almost ruin herself, but her husband's credibility. It's a key word, y'all. Credibility. Credibility. Because now everything is going to change and flip over. Imagine find out you're banned from a hotel while you're in the hotel. Now, a hotel chain, not going to say any names, banned a human being while the human being was in the hotel room and was trying to order something at the hotel and couldn't. How did this person get a room? It was done through the company. So while the person's in the room, not causing any problems, the hotel tells him, "Oh, well, there's a problem. It seems like you're banned." So while the person's in the room, this is a famous person, they had to go through the particulars of finding out why this person was banned and why this person had all of these things against them so that they can go and try to get it fixed. So you had an agent, an assistant, you had all of these people trying to fix this celebrity's problem. Now, the reason why I'm not saying names on this one is because this was never made public. So you would never know. Now, what this celebrity did was go down to the lobby, ask to speak to the owner of the hotel to change, to get me on the phone with him now so they could fix this. Because the general manager seems like, I think I got to put you out, which wasn't going to happen. It's like, if you put me out of this hotel, your business is going to plummet. This stock in this company will go to crap. Now, this is a white celebrity. Oh, this actually happened. And you know what ended up happening? He stayed. And they decided to find a way to figure it out in the morning. Now, you got plenty of people that you don't know are engaged in an incident or things that you don't know about based on scenarios, right? You guys heard of this TV show on HBO called Euphoria? Who's the star of that show? Who did they center the show around? Zendaya, right? So she was the star of the show. Somebody became a breakout star on that show named Sydney Sweeney. And Sydney Sweeney and Zendaya end up having a problem. Now, it depends on who you at. You know, you can go on probably social media and see a whole lot of people make up. She wanted Tom Holland, and this is why Zendaya hates her. And, you know, you can go through all that. I'll give you the whole truth on the Patreon if you want it explained to you. But this is a real thing. It's not made up. It's not a rumor. It's actually something that's really going on. And it wasn't about dating Tom Holland and stuff like that. But we'll get into that on the Patreon. I will say this: there is language and verbiage in Zendaya's negotiations that she's not going to be associated with Sydney Sweeney moving forward in anything. She only would agree to do the show Euphoria season 3 in very limited interactions with her, very limited, no one on one photos with her, only group photos would she take. She wasn't going to take any one on one photos with Sydney Sweeney. And her and the director was not seeing eye to eye and almost trying to blame her earlier, Zendaya, for her schedule. And she's like, nope, I had time. You know, you guys were not doing your job. Don't try to throw it on me. Why season 3 didn't take place. So we'll go into more of that, but the verbiage in her deal and her contracts and everything else, Sydney Sweeney and her will not be working together. She doesn't want her name mentioned with her, pretty much, you know, and she was respectful and communicated with everybody when they were in groups. She wasn't going to appear for a lot of the photo shoots together because she was only agreeing to do limited photo groups. And she showed up late on purpose to not be in, you know, said situations with Sydney Sweeney. Now, any film project that Zendaya is doing, you cannot go and hire Sydney Sweeney. You can't add her to the cast. It's in her contract. I do not want this woman in my film. Like any film that I'm in, I don't want her. I don't want to have to appear in a photo shoot. So if you want me, if you want Sydney Sweeney, I won't be nowhere near the movie. Now, we'll go into later on the Patreon why that is. So to say Sydney Sweeney is banned, it's a different thing. But certain movies she couldn't get, all because of her and Zendaya's situation, and she knows what it is. And it's not like she's sitting around pouting and caring, but they know what it is. Now, moving forward, there's a guy that you know that goes by the name wrestler John Cena, who's now an actor. For years, John Cena has been looked at as a great human being, great character, great everything. Right? There's a certain place where John Cena just wasn't welcome. And it was all because of a joke or a statement he made when he was visiting China. Now, when you go ahead and make certain statements and you're promoting a film or something and you say something, it could be offensive to other people while you were trying to be funny or humorous in the moment. He was banned. Not that it was going to probably mean anything to him, but he was banned from a Chinese, like one of their broadcast stations that banned showing John Cena this. So he was bashed. Like he took a career hit. He came out and apologized, like in their language. He actually learned enough to give a statement to say how sorry he was. He didn't know he was never trying to be offensive to anybody. So it goes to show you that most people can find ways to ban you and have you banned from stuff that, like, some people are banned from stuff they don't even give a shit about. They don't care. So for them, it was like, you're banned from this and this. It'd be, I am? Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. One restaurant, I think banned in New York, banned Victor Wembanyama for his disrespect that he showed the New York Knicks. The guy, the owner, said, I would never let him into this place because of the way he did the New York Knicks. His attitude, I would never let him. Not like Victor Wembanyama is going to care about this guy's restaurant, but it just goes to show you people try to ban people sometimes for attention. Some other words, it's, there's a major reason behind it. For years, I don't know if it still stands. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie could not appear in a lot of places and films, same verbiage, because of a nasty cheating situation and divorce. where Brad Pitt ended up marrying Angelina Jolie and divorcing Jennifer Aniston after they've been together shortly over a year. Well, the marriage was before Brad started stepping out on the marriage. And it became a really big thing. So, in their contracts for work related projects, they could not be in the same eateries, they could not be in the same vicinity of events. If somebody was going to the Oscars, they could not be seated in certain areas. All of this had to be negotiated or worked out because of their business and how they're aligned. They might be in the same room. They won't speak to each other. They won't speak out against each other. They had to negotiate all of this in the terms. So certain events that other people were at, based on what projects they had, the other party was pretty much banned from being there. But there wasn't any ill will by Angelina Jolie. So most of the time they didn't care. But I'm just saying that they pull this for the majority of all, and I do mean all, of Hollywood. Now, Leonardo DiCaprio one of the top Hollywood actors. One ex of his, a celebrity. We won't say her name because, yeah, we don't need to say her name. But during The Wolf of Wall Street, the Malaysian financier, Joe Lau, right, who the American government is looking for it now, he's the guy that's pretty much out there. And there's talks about a situation where there was a possible grooming situation going on. So we have to be careful with this. Well, they were trying to say that in Carbon Beach, Leonardo DiCaprio's home, um, he had bought it back when he did Titanic or something in Malibu, is where all of these incidents supposedly happened, where he allegedly groomed some girls, right? And when all of this was happening in Carbon Beach, they didn't want all of this going down. So in 2021, in the wake of all this Me Too crap that was going on, because Leonardo dates young young girls, it seem like these girls are very young, or just they're in their 21s, they're young adults. He sold it for like 10 million, I think, back in 2021, and they kind of wanted him out of Malibu. Get out of here! Get out of Malibu, Lebowski! So people were bringing up that he's kind of like, we don't know if it's character or what, but he dates women that seem to be under the age of 25. So you could take it as you may, but this is Hollywood. This is the part they don't want you to know. These are the things that are going on that they don't talk about, that happens right in front of your face. Now, I'm not saying he's doing anything wrong. All I'm saying is they never ever brought any of this to my attention. So I never saw or had a chance to understand why would they take such a route. there's one actor who doesn't really like uh, the situation that you might believe to be um, going on as a weird case scenario because it put people in bad predicaments and bad situations. Certain actors were put into bad moments and things because of something someone said. Banned Hollywood actors has been going on for a long time. So it's nothing new. Uh, Now, if I said Will Smith was banned for something, would you bat an eye? If I said Will Smith got banned, no, you'll know right away. But they don't never tell you about Kevin Spacey and how he was an undercover racist, made racist remarks while on the set, sexual misconduct allegations been made against him. He went to a court overseas and won, but went completely bankrupt. This man couldn't attend the Oscars anymore. He couldn't attend Golden Globes. He couldn't go anywhere, but he won. Came out that he was bisexual, didn't matter, right? Couldn't go to any functions, any dinners, any galas. And he was one of the top earning entertainers in the business. Then you have Tobey Maguire, Spider Man, who's been trying to rebuild his image back up. But no one in Hollywood wanted to really work with him, right? A lot of you guys didn't know that. That when you saw him return back as Spider Man, it was like a shock and awe situation, all because of the Molly game situation with the poker scandal and how he used a celebrity to put his foot on her neck in this illegal gambling scandal that no one wanted to get around. So his best friend, Jay Gyllenhaal, was helping him out in the situation, trying to get him work, keep him around certain events, going in certain settings, but he's aloof. And now he's allegedly dating Ice Spice, who's, pretty much just out here prostituting herself for fame. So it is what it is. But he's always been one of those guys. Who else they don't tell you about? Here's a guy that's always in trouble. Shia LaBeouf, great, outstanding actor, complete head case. Nobody in Hollywood would have ever hired this man again. Multiple arrests, mental breakdowns, drug filled moments, getting in fights all over the place, and they just throw another movie and put him in it. He's banned from multiple places in New Orleans, restaurants, bars. Other celebrities don't want to be near him. They write in there cannot be have Shia LaBeouf at any of these events. Don't bring him to the Golden Globes, Oscars. He's banned from everything. Being around certain celebrities because it makes them look bad. They never mention it to you, right? Jim Carrey. What did Jim Carrey actually do? He's erotic behavior. And he was abusive and mean to women and people. So he's a weirdo. He went from being everybody's favorite fun guy to being a weirdo. So they don't put him around certain events. Then Amber Heard have to leave the United States of America because of the Johnny Depp situation when she tried to get over on Johnny Depp. And this is the first time a woman wasn't automatically correct. It's like, you ruined the Pirates of the Caribbean. Plus, the fact is, this woman is not even interested in men. So she uses men just for finances, but she really likes women. So the Amber Heard situation, once again, banned from almost anything in Hollywood. They don't even want her around. So she has to go overseas and basically be sex toy for billionaires. James Wood, his political outspokenness. Now he realizes, oh no, it ruined my career. They torpedoed me. Now I can't be in certain situations and events and around certain people. There's still people that won't be around Mel Gibson because of his anti Semitic rants. So it's not like this is what's going on here. Taylor Lautner, who was a nice guy, was in the Twilight, but this guy was full action, could do all these flips, stunts, everything. They couldn't find a movie role, no Marvel thing for him to do at all. They just basically just stalled him out. They didn't have anything for him. Just said, well, he can't sell. Ban him from Hollywood. Well, when you start seeing people go through certain things, they ban them, and then you don't know why. Like Isaiah Washington got banned because he called someone gay who was gay on the show and of Grey's Anatomy, even though he was one of the stars of the show and one of the bright spots, and the show was never the same after they got him off of it, and it ruined Grey's Anatomy. Charlie Sheen, right? Erratic on-set behavior, paid millions of dollars to do a TV show, right? But on drugs all the time, constantly, everything. Was banned from going to the Oscars, Golden Globes, everything. They banned him from events. Certain studios banned for him to be around any functions. Then you had Katherine Heigl, the one that was in Knocked Up and got her famous. She turns around, hates the film, hated everything about it, and her and Seth Rogen got into a pretty much like, wow. I mean, this we made you famous off of the movie, but okay. This is what you want to do because you felt like you're in a position. Then she ended up pissing everybody else off, and she got the difficult to work with label put on her back. Once she got the difficult to work with label, and that was the sticker on her back, she couldn't get off. People said, why are we hiring you anyway? You're not that good. All her movies had bombed, and pretty much that was it. But Katherine Heigl in a main girl situation. She was not allowed to join any other functions. Um, a lot of people had problems with her, especially in Hollywood. You know, they have their circle of trust. And once you're not in that circle of trust, you're pretty much out. They're done with you. So, as I told you, this list goes on and on. And these people that I mentioned are white. They don't ever mention this. Army Hammer, his weird sexual prowess, which a guy who doesn't have to act and was good in all the movies that I've seen him in, but his weird sexual fantasies and things that he did to the women that dated him is something like I'm like, you basically just made a movie about it, right? The 40 Shades of Black or whatever, or 40 Shades of Gray, or, I don't know. But one of those crazy movies where the rich guy, I'm like, well, that's the Army Hammer story right there. Well, Army Hammer is his father, that's they own the Arm and Hammer, the baking soda that you see in your refrigerator right now. That you're like, hey, baking soda, Arm and Hammer. So you got Army Hammer is part of that family. So he's loaded. He doesn't have to do any movies, anything. So now this woman, I guess one of the girls he was dating, didn't like the way she was being treated and these sexual things that he does. And now he's blacklisted like it's such a bad thing because everybody was going through the Me Too stage, even though they put out these movies with all of these situations happening. And it was making it all okay for the world. And guess what? He's white. Sean William Scott, the guy who played Stifler, never did anything wrong. He came off as kind of a dick when I met him when he was filming a movie here, but other than that, he was just completely um, trying to prove he wasn't Stifler, that he's an actor and he's an entertainer, and he mostly had people walking up to him who were white, and they would say, "Yo, Stifler," and he just got typecast. So to keep working, it's like, well, they want me to play another Stifler type character here, and might as well do it because I need to get paid. But he felt he waited too long and kept doing the Stifler character till he got typecast. But this just shows you, right? I didn't want to make this long, but this gives you a prime example of what is going on out here in the world. So now that you have it all, I want you guys to take it and run with it as much as you please. And now you have this information about what happens to those who are banned out here, you know? And they don't even know it, most of them. Sean, they just banned him because he's not famous anymore. It's like, why invite him? There's many more, but yet they only highlight black folks. All right. So anyway, I'm out. I'll see y'all on the Patreon. Yes, I will do the Zendaya thing. I will explain that what's really going on there, not this. I'll tell you about this internet rumors, and then we'll go to what's rumor to fact. So I'll do it that way on the Patreon for you. All right, I'm out. Peace.